Hello, friends. As we all know, 2020 has been a very challenging year for all of us. The coronavirus came in, it brought the countries to its knees, it spoiled the health of people, it killed a lot of people, it pulled down the economy of the whole world. It pushed people against the natural tendency that they have to maintain social distancing. The mantra of uh, you know, be a social being was changed to keep social distancing. And of course, there has been news about a lot of untimely deaths of people. People are going to depression, they're committing suicides. Very, very challenging, very, uh, what do you say, the difficult things when you hear such news. But one thing that is usually true is all these times usually come with certain messages, and it's so very interesting to see that none of these messages are actually new. It's as the saying goes, the old wine in new bottle. So it's always has been something that has already been told years and years before by great men who walked on the soil in the Sanatana Dharma. So if you dig into the documents of Sanatana Dharma, most of this has been talked, it's been told. Not that there has been solutions written, but how can mankind be ready? How can mankind expect that these are natural part of the entire cosmic cycle that we are going through? And one thing that often stands out, and after every news, I just go and put on my earphones and listen to the Bhaja Govindam, which was composed by none other than the great Sri Adi Shankaracharya. And every verse makes so much of sense, and it has no expiry date. It's applicable to all the timeline. They are applicable until the time exists. And why I say this is, even after the couple of very harsh news that I heard, when I put it on and I listen, there's somewhere that messages that the challenges are bringing in has already been put in there. And of course, we all know how we all know Bhaja Govindam is through the divine rendering of MS Subbalakshmi. The original composition of Bhaja Govindam has about 32 verses, and not all the verses were sung by MSS. But somebody, whoever picked it, I don't know whether MSS herself picked it or someone else picked it. It was beautifully picked, and the entire rendering actually, takes you through a journey of the very limited living of mankind to the highest level of living. How do you get there, probably? So that's what is woven in that. And out of my own interest, I love doing this. So I thought I'll give a small commentary about the Bhaja Govindam based on the rendering of MSS. And of course, I'm not going to talk about all the verses. It's going to be very lengthy, so I'm going to keep it to four verses. The first four verses in MSS rendering, and it's beautifully amazing to see how it actually is applicable to what we are going through. So it goes like this. We all know how it starts. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kane, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukan Garane. It's a belief that Sri Adi Shankara started composition of this song when he saw an old man trying to learn Sanskrit grammar. And that's what he's trying to say, idiot, what are you trying to do? Why are you spending time on that learning grammar, which will be of no use when you are approaching death? So you have to put your thoughts and your mind in praying to Govindam, the ultimate reality. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. So when you are nearing death, you will not be saved by the grammar. Please put your brain to Govindam. That's how it starts. And when it moves on, it starts getting more intense. And in the second verse of the rendition, it says, Mudajari Danagama Trishna Kuru Sadbuddhim Manasi Manasi Vitrishna Yelabase Nija कर्मोपातं वित्तं तेन विनोदय चित्तम्. Here, Sri Shankara is trying to say, why are you so obsessed with making money, collecting wealth? He's not asking you not to make wealth, to work towards us, but why are you obsessed? And he's asking us to understand whatever we get is already calculated. It's because of the karmic cycle, it's the karma that we have already done. And it's going to be that way. Whatever we do now is going to be accounted, and everything comes as a part of karma. And the whole thing that we all are living in a time when the corona hits is the outcome of all our karma. People who lived during World War II lived then, they were destined to live there. It's all because of karma. And even the wealth, it's more how much has been written for you, you're going to earn that. And why are you so obsessed with that? Please try to understand the divine. Please try to understand there's one ultimate reality. And Chittam, so is saying, make it understand, don't have any confusion, don't get obsessed with wealth. It's all the work of karma. And then the next one, he further takes you into a place where he says, uh, यावद्वीतोपार्जनशक्तः तावन्निज परिवारो रक्तः पश्याजीवति जर्जरदेहे वार्ता कोऽपि न पृच्छति गेहे. Here, Sri Adi Shankara is trying to say, you need to understand we're going to get old. And we all need to understand we're going to die. So, in fact, the whole thing is not to, make someone afraid. It's the reverse. It's actually, in these times, it's very important to not be too much afraid and, too much scared of the situation. It puts us off our brains, and we will not be able to know what is the right thing to do. So it's very important for every human being to understand what is this whole thing. And in this verse, he says, until you are useful is when there'll be people around you. Your whole family is going to praise you, put you on top. But then once you are old and when you have a crumbled body, Paschajivati Jarjaradehe. Jarjaradehe is when you have a crumbled body. There will be no one even to talk to you. And that's the cycle. That's the cycle everyone is going to go through. So which is the important message is everyone is going to become old. Everyone are going to die. And there's no reason why you have to be extremely scared of death. Of course, even I am afraid, I go with mask, I put sanitizer, I wash my hands. But it's not that we need to, shut ourselves down and pull ourselves down into depression. That's not how we need to lead the life. We have to face it and move on. And for that, this understanding that everybody are going to get old, and when you get old, you're going to face the challenges there, and everybody are eventually going to die. That understanding is very important. And actually, what we do is the reverse, which is what he says in the next verse, where Bhagavan Shankara says, Ma kurudana janayavana garvam harati nimeshat kala sarvam maya mayamidam akilam hitva brahmapadam tvam pravisha viditva. Ma kuru dhana jana yavana garvam. So please don't have a pride that you have wealth, you have power, and your youthfulness. Again, not that he's saying don't enjoy your youthfulness, completely enjoy, don't be proud about it. Don't think you're going to be like this forever. Harati nimesha kala sarvam. Time can really kill everything. It can just cut it off. The person who was alive yesterday suddenly is no more. Nobody knows why. People say, "Oh, I never expected this." No, you can't. Nobody expects that somebody is going to die. Nobody is going to expect that some loved one is going to pass away. But that's the work of time. Time is gonna kill everything. Haratini me shat kala sarvam. Maya mayamidam akilam hitva. So it's all, as Shankara always keeps saying, it's all the work of Maya. And so please pray to the Lord and understand He is the ultimate reality. Again, this was where it's very important that I think that a lot of people are getting into the depression with the challenges they face about what's going to happen to the way I have lived, what's going to happen if things change tomorrow. I'm probably not going to be have the same fame, not going to have the same name. What if I die? It's again and again repeatedly the same thing, and it's not that the moment we hear this we will know we will have a different way of thinking, but it's very important to practice these things as even as youngsters in the current times. It's a very wrong notion that we have all put that all these things, the philosophical things, are only for people after they become old, and that's exactly reverse of what we are supposed to do. These are gems of knowledges. These are gems that are going to keep us prepared for what's going to come in our life. And since we don't practice this, and since we are not thought about these things constantly, we don't understand these things. It's that we get into too much of craving in all the stuff which are not supposed to disturb us so much. Of course, they are going to. We are all human beings. They are going to disturb us, but if we start probably understanding these things and spreading these kind of things, probably we can save someone from getting into the phase of depression and probably even killing themselves. Killing yourself should never be a resort. So probably these learnings, which if we see spread, maybe we are trying to help someone to understand that this is how the whole system runs. We are a part of it, and probably help someone deal with it in a much better way, in a more pragmatic way. And that's why I thought I'll make this video. If you like this, and if people like it, and if I see that it has a good reception, maybe I'll get into the other verses of Bhaja Govindam. I love talking about this song. This is my all-time favorite, and whenever I want answers for a situation which I don't understand, I go back to this song, and somehow some verses actually gets and fits into that situation, and it brings in that message. So it's so exciting when you understand that there is already something written in 32 verses which gives such an immense meaning. So yeah, thanks for listening. It's a very lengthy video. Sorry about it. I couldn't cut short less than 13 minutes, but if you like it, please share it. Thank you.